With that down, let's move on to main topic number 2. And our second main topic today gets sent in to us by Mike, who writes, "Hey, John. So tracking numbers for the upcoming Sonic movie are out, and they're lower than last year's Detective Pikachu, 41 to 47 million. Are these numbers what you expected? And if not, what are your thoughts? And thanks." All right, thanks a lot for sending that in, Mike. And just a quick point of clarification. There are a bunch of people saying that they're projecting Sonic to open between 41 and 47 million on opening weekend. That's actually not technically true. What the projections are saying right now, what their estimates are, is that it could make 41 to 47 over the long holiday weekend, not the weekend proper. Now remember, in the history books, it's still just measured by the weekend itself, not the extra holiday. So yes, they're projecting 41 to 47 million for the 4-day weekend. They're projecting right now anywhere between 30 to 35 million for the opening weekend itself. Now you're right. That does put what would be the upcoming Sonic movie well behind what Pikachu opened with. If it opens to 30 to 35 million, Pikachu opened to 54, yeah, there's a bit of a discrepancy there. But that's not the thing that stands out to me. The discrepancy between what Sonic would be and what Pikachu would be is not the discrepancy to me. The discrepancy, or the odd thing to me, the thing that is standing out to me is, I still don't think that Sonic can make 30 to 35 million on opening weekend. This is much more than I think. And I know it's natural for us as film fans. I do it, you do it. I know it's natural for us as film fans to want to compare it to something else, but this Sonic movie isn't Detective Pikachu. This Sonic movie isn't, going to be of the same budget as Detective Pikachu. It doesn't have the same following as Detective Pikachu. I think there's a little bit of inherent unfairness. Now, I think this whole thing sounds stupid. I think the entire movie sounds stupid, what have you, but I would have guessed that maybe 19 million opening. So, yeah, maybe it's not as much as Pikachu is, but who cares? I mean, I'm not exactly sure what the final opening numbers for this thing are, or what the final production numbers of this are, but I'm telling you, if it does come into 30 to 35 million opening weekend, and if it does open over the 4-day weekend at 41 to 47 and somewhere in there, I got to tell you what, I'd be impressed. I'd be impressed. Like, I'd love to sit here and tell you, yeah, I knew it looked stupid and it was going to bomb. But listen, I honestly don't think these numbers are bad. These numbers are pretty good. And it doesn't matter that it doesn't compare to Pikachu. Pikachu was a totally different thing. So listen, I'm still going to be surprised if it actually does make this much money over that weekend. But I got to say, man, I'm surprised. I'm really surprised to see that this many people are interested to go out and see it. Now, it may come in a little bit lower than that number. It might come in a little bit higher than that number. But listen, I got to say, I think this number's a win. So I don't know. You're hearing about this, Aaron. Are you surprised by these numbers? Do you think it would be higher? Did you think it would be lower? Where did you think it would come in?
I'll be honest. I'm a cynical little twat. I admit that. Oh, Joey just raised her head. What, Mom? However, I have to say, I'm really excited about this movie. And
really?
I don't know anything about the video game. Anything. But I found myself having these feelings of something like joy creeping up and a smile on my face as I was watching the trailer. Not the first one, the second one. I know the first one was a complete bomb. The second one, when they went back and redid it, I first of all, I love Ben Schwartz, who voices Sonic. And if you don't know who Ben Schwartz is,
John
Ralphio from Parks and Rec.
I love him.
Like my favorite guest star of any show ever. John Ralphio is just the best. And he really infuses that character. This is a guy who also, if you look up his credits, he does a ton of voiceover. So it's not like he's a live action actor who's trying out, his hand at animation. The animation is really what he does. It's his bread and butter. Additionally, I really like James Marsden as the supporting character. I feel, there was a huge list of massive names that were all being considered for that role. And I like the fact that James Marsden is in that role because he's a great, nice guy. And he doesn't take away from the main character of Sonic. And also, I get super annoyed by Jim Carrey. Like, there's only so much of him that I can take. He's kind of like your snarky aunt. It's like, okay, she's fun for 5 minutes, but after a while, you just got to leave. And I like him in this. I really like how he embodies this character in a similar way as he did to The Grinch. I'm excited for it. I hope it does really well. And you know what? Everybody's looking for a movie to see on Valentine's weekend. Do we know other movies yet that are opening that weekend?
Off the top of my head.
Okay, I'd be curious to see what it's going up against. But if it doesn't have a lot of stiff competition, I'd say it could do very well.
You know, whenever I think of James Marsden, I think he's a wonderful. I like seeing him in just about everything, but it always reminds me about. Even though I love a lot of the X-Men films, I always thought like the one thing that the X-Men films, even the best ones, always dropped the ball on was his Cyclops. I thought
God.
they just butchered his Cyclops, but
Yeah, I always like it's just I find his character just to be almost laughable.
Yeah.
Like he's just sort of standing there with this weird Cyclops eye, and then every once in a while they'll give him a line, but otherwise he's just kind of like, hello, does anybody know I'm here?
such a great character with such a great actor, such a missed opportunity.
I
Anyway,
know.
guys, what do you think about these opening numbers? These projected opening numbers for Sonic? Do you think they'll come in higher? Do you think they come in lower? Do you think they're low? Or are you like me and thinking, wow, actually, I think this looks really like these are good numbers? How do you feel about it? Jump down to the comments section below and let me know your thoughts. All right.